a lot of things to talk about, so many things. Some good, some bad. The country doesn't have a lot of good news, you know that. Oh, you made your shirt for me. That's actually not bad. Thank you, darling. Thank you. So on a Monday morning, and it's cold and windy and unbelievable, and you're packed, and it's like that all over. Packed houses all over, no matter where we go, because there's a movement going on. It's an amazing movement, and it's something that's special. I watched some of the programs that came out with new polls this morning. I love polls when I'm winning. Believe me, if I wasn't, I would not be. If I was in second place even, let alone some of these guys are in ninth place, I wouldn't even know. I don't know if I'd even come. If you're in ninth place, don't you sort of say, let's cut down on the trips? It's not going to happen at this stage, right? But NBC just announced this morning a brand new poll, and Trump is leading. Oh, that's beautiful. Trump is leading in Iowa. 26, Cruz 24, Rubio 13, and the rest of them are bingo. But let's get to New Hampshire. Actually, in Iowa too, CNN has a 33-20 Trump is leading. Then I had one that was less good, not terrible, but I don't believe it because it was the Des Moines Register. I believe nothing they say. Almost as bad as your local newspaper here. We'll discuss it. That paper is the worst. Run by people that don't know what they're doing. But we'll talk about it. But here's New Hampshire. So, just out, Trump 30. Rubio up. Oh, that's interesting. 14. Then the rest of them are very bad. They're not making it. But here's one that I love. New Hampshire won, right? And I'll bet that's very accurate. 32-11. That's big. 32-11. I love New Hampshire one. And CNN, I told you about South Carolina. That's a great one. That's been fantastic. Like this, it's been so strong from the beginning. CBS 38-23. Second. And then let's go Nationals for a second because they just came out. Reuters 42. You gotta say it's like 15 people, right? 15 people. Of course, it's going down fast. I would imagine there's a run for the door right after New Hampshire, maybe after Iowa. Going to be a big run for the door. Some of those zeros are going to be, what are they doing? I mean, Bush, what is Bush doing? The guy has spent, think of it, the guy spent $69 million. He just took $25 million in donor money. You know, it's all donor money. It's these people that have total control over the candidates. And they all take it. I'm the only one that's self-funding. Just remember that. The only one. I'm the only one. And we just took some buys and some pretty big buys. And they said, why'd you do it? You're winning by so much. Why do you want to spend your money? I said, because I don't want to take a chance. Number one, I don't want to take a chance. I don't want to be cute. And number two, I said, I feel guilty. All these guys are spending all this money. And I haven't spent any. And I mean, literally, I haven't spent anything practically. And I felt very guilty. So I'm spending money out of guilt, okay? Believe me, I did too, I did. I see all this. You see Bush, 69 million. Trump like nothing. Trump, 42. Bush like nothing. I don't know. It's time. Sometimes it's time for a guy like that to just go home, relax, take it easy, be with your family. He's got a nice family. Be with your family and relax. So Trump, 41. Cruz, 16. It's actually now 42. 42. Cruz, 16. Carson, 12. Oh, boy, Bush. A lot of people ahead of him. Okay. I do it with Bush because he spends so much time advertising. He advertises. This guy's spending millions and millions of dollars with negative ads. If he turned off his ads, I wouldn't hit him. I mean, the guy, he spent so much money advertising Trump, Trump, Trump. At least he uses good pictures of me. I look good. He has some, I'm so young. I said, man, I was really handsome. Look at those pictures. They're from so long ago. I was young. Fox News, Trump 35, 20, 13. I mean, oh, here's a good one. Just came out. Against Clinton, Hillary Clinton. I don't know. She could have some big problems. Because Hillary for president. Trump, 47, Clinton, 44. We're winning by... That was it. Now, you read about this little dust-up with the famous paper, right? You know? Your little paper with the union leader. No, it's really a dishonest paper, though. It's terrible. So this gets a rare case. I guess. I mean, they had like 75,000 readers not so long ago when you had Mr. Loeb running it. He was amazing. And now they're down to, what, around 10,000 and heading south. I don't think they'll be, personally, I don't think they're going to be in business much longer. The useless leader. That's right. So I'll read this up, because, look, here's the thing. I don't mind not getting an endorsement. They endorse somebody that doesn't have a chance. Okay, it's not going to win. He's a friend of mine, but it's not going to win. But I don't mind not getting it. But you don't do that and then ask Trump all these things. I mean, this guy drove me wild. Joe McQuaid. He said, we're having, writes me letters, we're having a forum, meaning a debate of some kind, the day before the Fox debate. Now, who wants to do that? Everybody in the world is talking about the Fox debate. I'm supposed to show up for his forum, and I said I'm not going to do it, because I'm not going to do it. So I was the only one that didn't show up. He was very upset about that. It bombed. Very few people in the room, empty seats all over the place. The ratings were terrible. All right. Then he calls me up and he wants ads. So I gave him some ads. But what do I want to waste my money for? You're rich for a reason. Even if you're rich, you don't want to waste money. So we look at the stats on this paper. The paper, not too good to put him on. So he gave him a couple, but we didn't give him, he wouldn't like that much more. He calls me and says, would you have lunch with me at my club? He has a club, nice club. I stood taking pictures for so long with all the people in there. Look at them. I had a hamburger. It was excellent. But I'm standing there shaking hands with club members. Nice people, great people, probably some here today. Anybody here? Is anybody here from that club who was very nice? Anybody here? Because I took so many pictures that day. So I did that. I did it as a favor. And other things. He asked me would I come up and make a speech on behalf of James Foley. I'll do that any time. I think that was good. And I made a big contribution, a very big contribution to James Foley. And I think that's fine. And I think that's fine. But I came up, I made a speech. I did a lot of things. Then he said, oh, it was strange, at real Donald Trump. So I have millions and millions of followers, especially when you had Facebook. It's like 5.6 million for Twitter, over 5 million for Facebook, Instagram, I mean, it's like 11, 12 million people. And I said, what is it? He said, would you do me a favor? This was a few weeks ago. Chris Christie did not make the main stage. I would like you to do me a favor and tweet that Chris Christie should be on the main stage. I said, but Joe, I mean, he didn't make it because he didn't make it, right? You have to go through, you have to get a certain number of points on the polls. Well, he didn't make it, but he should be there, and it's not fair. Would you tweet? I said, I'll tweet. So I put out a tweet. Why don't we get Chris? What am I going to say? What do I do? I figured I'll be nice. But I knew immediately he was going to endorse Chris Christie. But can you imagine a guy calling me up, knowing he's going to endorse a guy, asking me to use my Twitter to put him in? And other than that, I mean, the guy's bad news, okay? He's not a talented guy. Then I get a letter. You're not going to believe this. I had to take the glasses out because this one's worthwhile to read. I get a letter from one of his top people. Just got it recently. It's Amanda, that's my person in charge. From Robin Wilson, the union leader. Hope all is well, and that you had a wonderful holiday season. Happy New Year, Amanda. I'm emailing today because I wanted to let you know about the special edition we'll be doing just before the New Hampshire primary. It's called Voters First. I have attached a letter that explains what will be included in the edition along with the rate card. Rate card. They want advertising. This guy wants advertising. We just got the letter. And it's a personal letter. It's not a letter out from a computer. there's a perfect edition for you. I really hope that you'll consider running an ad. Please let me know as soon as possible. Robin Wilson, advertising manager. Okay. I'm saying, I don't believe it. The girl walked up, she said, Mr. Trump, what's going on here? My girl was even surprised. She didn't even know about it. Then it's the next page, this. Then it's the next page after that. Now, think of this. This guy is running a newspaper into the ground. I mean, you had a guy, Mr. Loeb was like this legendary guy. Look, 2-page spread, $7,500. Back cover for only $3,500. Does anybody want the back cover of a newspaper that lost all credibility? I'll take it. I'll give you $500. Inside back, the union leader. Okay. It's not the way you do business, and you have a guy who's out of control, thinks he's hot stuff. He's not hot stuff. So anyway, so I just had to bring this up. It shows the dishonesty with the media. It really does. The media is very dishonest. Although I have to tell you, Time Magazine did a cover story of me this week. It's one of the best stories I've ever read about myself. And it's really not about myself. But it's really not about myself. It's really about you. It's about a movement that's going on. And I'll tell you what, I've been on the cover now of Time a number of times in the last 3 months. And obviously I should have been picked as the person of the year, right? I think the reason, yeah, maybe next year. Hey, next year would be even better, because then we'll prove that we can do things. But they did, and they picked Angela Merkel, who was, I mean, do you see what's going on? And we talk about immigration, we talk about borders. Do you see what she's done to Germany? Just coming over, just before this morning, I'm watching television. The rapes, the riots, what's happening is unbelievable. It's unbelievable, unthinkable. And they've been there for 2 weeks. And the place is going to hell. And she got person in the eye. I came in. I guess I came in second. So they felt guilty. So they gave me another cover. But I have to tell you have to go out and get Time Magazine. Because it's talking about a movement of great people. And it's a movement like they haven't seen. Many people are saying there's never been anything like this in this country. What's taking place with us, not me. I'm a messenger. It's with us. I mean, like an amazing thing. And I'm very proud of that story because, you know, that was a story. Usually I'll get a story and it'll be good, but they'll always put a shot in. You know, like they'll have 3 good paragraphs and then 1 total killer. And then they'll have 5 good paragraphs and just a total killer. So you tell people, don't read it. You don't want to read it because the killers make up for it. They have to do it because, you know, they have to do it. And they're dishonest. But the Time Magazine piece, and especially, you know, Time is known as a pretty liberal deal going on there. This Time Magazine cover story is amazing, and it talks about what we've done and what we've become. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing in terms of the competition, and then we're talking about the problems of the country and how to fix the problems. I mean, basically, how to fix the problems, elect Trump as president. Okay? We can cut it short. You know what we can do? That's right. President Obama, you're fired. That's an easy one. So, thank you. Got a very enthusiastic person. So, Ted Cruz is a problem. I mean, he's got a problem. If you know, Congressman Alan Grayson said he's going to bring a major suit. And the suit is going to say that he wasn't born in this country. So, whether you like it or not, Ted has to figure it out because you can't be having a nominee if he got the nominee. I think I'm going to win very solidly if you want to do. But if you get the nomination, you can't have the person that gets the nomination be sued like Hillary might be sued. She might have a different government. She'll be sued in emails. But the emails, I mean, she should not be running. Oh, would I love to run against Bernie? I tell you, I would love I mean, can you imagine when they took, remember they took the microphone away? Get off the stage. They told him, this is our president. He goes like this. Oh, excuse me. And And everyone's out there saying, get off the mic, we want to hear him. He walks back like a little puppy. This is going to be our president. I would love, please, FBI, please, go after Hillary. I want to run against Bernie. Oh, that's a dream come true. This guy, he would make some president. 90% tax, everybody. Does anybody mind paying 90% tax? Because you go with Bernie, you can have yourself a nice 90% tax. He wants to take it all away from you. You know, he's sort of dampening it a little bit. He wants to keep it a little bit low-key. He wants a big, fat, beautiful tax, okay? And I don't think the people here are going to go for that very easily, but I want to run against Bernie. That's my dream. That's my dream. That's the one. That's the one I really want. Okay. But Hillary will be fine. And, you know, the poll just said we beat Hillary. Fox poll just now we beat Hillary. You know, honestly, we'll take anybody. I think we're going to be. With the people we have, with the movement we have, and we have by far the largest audiences. And in all fairness, Bernie is second, but way down by comparison to the audiences we get. We're going to Pensacola next week. They don't even know if they can have it in the whole area. I mean, the number of people showing up at Pensacola, it's unbelievable. But we had 20,000 people recently, 21,000, 35,000 in Mobile, Alabama, 20,000 in Dallas, Texas. The Maverick Arena filled up. I mean, it's unbelievable the crowds we get. And it's only determined by the size of the space. And I want to thank the fire marshal because he allowed a lot of people in here today. There are people standing at doors. Nothing's going to happen, but people standing at doors. But the fire marshals are the most important people to me because they let us get more people into the rooms. And every one of them, they've been great. So I appreciate that. But Ted Cruz has a problem because the question is he a natural-born citizen? And the question was asked to me, and Meet the Press, it was asked to me by Chris Wallace this weekend. And I said, I don't know. I mean, nobody knows. And Lawrence Tribe of Harvard, who's a constitutional expert, one of the best in the country, said, and I wrote it down, this is not a settled matter. It's wrong to say it is a settled matter because it's absolutely not. It's not a settled matter. That means that, a lot of people think you have to be born here. You have to be born on this land. Now, John McCain, a Lawrence Tribe represented John McCain. He was born outside of the United States, but he was born on a military base to two people that were in the military. That's different. I would never question that. But in the case of Ted, he has to figure it out. Now, I think he can go in for some kind of a judiciary proceeding, and yes, look, it doesn't matter what he does. You can't have a nominee who's going to be subject to being thrown out as a nominee. You just can't do it. So you're going to make that decision, folks. I mean, it's one of those little decisions. I'm sure Ted is thrilled that I'm helping him out, but I am. I mean, he's got to go and he's got to fix it. Now, one thing I do say, just to finish it, Ted, so I have a very strong immigration policy. When I brought up immigration, I mean, it was brought up strongly in my speech, in my opening remarks. And I said wall, and I said all sorts of things, right? That's good. Well, no, low-key, because I haven't really hit you. No, low-key. Okay, ready? We will build a wall. Who's going to pay for the wall? Who? Okay. So you people know what I'm saying. So I've been saying this for a long time. So yesterday, or 2 days ago, they showed me Ted's plan. And it said, he never said this, it said, it begins by building a wall. It's amazing how far people have come. Then triple the number of the Border Patrol officers, that's me too. Implement E-Verify, that's me too. It's amazing, all these people. And by the way, Ted happens to be a very good guy. They're all good people. But they all when I was taking Rush Limbaugh said, nobody has ever received more income, okay? And it's true. When I announced, I said, boy, for 2 weeks, I said, is it going to be like this always? I mean, it was brutal. And then all of a sudden, a lot of things started happening. Crime statistics started being looked at. Kate was killed in San Francisco, beautiful Kate by an illegal immigrant shot in the back. You had Jamil in California, who I think his father is one of the greatest people. I got to know his father over this. Jamil Shaw, who's a young man getting ready to go to college, good football player, good student. He was killed, shot in the face 3 or 4 times by an illegal immigrant, just walking down the sidewalk going back home to his father. You have the woman in Los Angeles who was a veteran, 65 years old, raped, sodomized, and killed by a person that should have not been in this country, illegal immigrant. And all of a sudden, everybody's coming my way. They're all saying, well, wow. You know, he's right. I don't have any. I mean, you remember how crazy it was? Macy's was totally destroyed. Oh, we cannot. We're a member of inclusion. We consider ourselves very inclusive. They got fined $650,000 for all sorts of discrimination, and they were always like being looked at. But as soon as I had, it's not a big deal about shirts and ties. Who cares? I didn't like the ties that much anyway. They were made in China. No, but how disloyal is Macy's? I tell people don't shop there anymore. And their stock is too. You see what happened to their stock? Can I take credit for the fact that they don't sell my shirts and ties there? The company went to hell. It's unbelievable. They talked about inclusion, but they have a fine for $650,000 because they weren't inclusive. Okay, so you figure that one out. I love those stories. I love it when something happens where, like an enemy, right? They become enemies to me. It's sort of, very clear. But Macy's did a number on me, and then the company crashed. They went from, what were they, 75 down to like in the low 30s. Their stock crashed. And it happened that way with a lot of the people that were fighting. Remember? Governor of Texas, Perry. He was doing fine, right? Yeah. And it happened with Bush. Look at the way he crashed. But they were fine. And then they attacked me, and they all went down. Lindsey Graham was doing fine. Then he said, I need more points, so he attacked me and went down. Remember with the phone number, right? All of them. I mean, Governor Walker, really nice guy, Governor Walker, but he attacked me. I was his friend. I mean, he was up in my office giving me a plaque before the election, of course, not recently. And I attacked him and he went down. Wouldn't it be nice if we had that with our country, where somebody does something bad to us and they go down? That's what happens. So Macy's went down, and these people that attack me, they go down, and that's a good thing. And that's a good thing, because you want to have wins. We don't have wins anymore in this country. We don't win. We don't win in anything. I mean, there's a guy named John H. Sununu who wrote an article in this phony paper, and it was so bad. I don't even know the guy, and yet he's a Bushy. But John H. Sununu has been known. He was fired by Bush. I mean, he was fired, right? Yeah. And he was fired like a dog. He was fired viciously. And he's such a dumb guy that he doesn't even know he was fired. He'd go on shows. It was interesting. He'd go on shows, and he'd say the worst things. And I'd watch him say these things. I'd say, that's terrible. But eventually they had to fire him. Then he writes an editorial about me that's nasty. The Kool-Aid editorial, right? Drinking the Kool-Aid. My life has been about success. It's been about building a great company. I did the filing. Everybody was shocked because the company's far bigger, far better. I have some of the greatest assets in the world. Tremendous cash flow. Just very little debt. And I say that not to brag about the company. And I had to file this. I'm a private company, so everyone would say, oh, well, maybe he'll never file because he'll never do that. First they said he wouldn't run. Then they said, oh, man, he ran. The pundits, guys like Karl Rove, I mean, this guy's a stiff. I mean, they mentioned the name Trump, he started shaking. I don't know why, I don't even know. Karl Rove, George Will, take away his little glasses, take away his glasses, he's got these little tiny spectacles. Take away those glasses, and he looks like a non-intelligent person. But he's not intelligent. He was big into the war, let's go in. And I was against the war. 2004, I came out strongly, headlines in Reuters, I came out strongly that we shouldn't have been in the war. 2003. I wrote about Osama bin Laden in 2000, the year 2000, in my book. That Osama bin Laden, that guy, I saw him on television, I saw him in the papers. He was very threatening. I said, they better take this guy out. And he knocked down the World Trade Center 2 years later. And one of the moderators, Jill Scarborough, said, well, wait a minute, you made Trump talk about Osama bin Laden before he knocked down? Yeah, he did. And it's not even my main business. I mean, I'm a builder, I'm a developer, I'm a business person. It's not my main business. But I talked about it. Why didn't the politicians know about it? If I knew about it, why didn't they? But it has to do with things. I said, don't attack Iraq. Because if you attack Iraq, and I'm the most militaristic person in this room, except for maybe Al, I think Al has been beat. He has everybody beat, right? Huh? Am I good with the veterans, Al? Okay. Thank you. I am. I love the veterans. But other than that, I'm the most militaristic person in this room. But you gotta know, I mean, I'm going to build our military so big and so strong and so powerful. It's the cheapest thing we can do, by the way, just so you know. The cheapest thing. General Oriano, when he left, he said that the Army is the least prepared that it's been. And I think he meant from its inception. That's a long time. But essentially, he's saying the Army is a mess. So our military's in trouble. All the time in the real estate business, I get listings, a military base for sale, another military. I get all these listings for these military bases. How are we closing up? What are we doing? Closing bases. And we should have the most updated, the greatest military. We protect all these other nations. We don't get paid anything in many cases. We get paid very little in comparison to what it costs. For instance, we protect, I love South Korea. I do a lot of business. I buy televisions, thousands of televisions from South Korea for projects. Thousands. They're all from South Korea. They make a fortune. They build the big ships. They build the big tankers. We protect them for peanuts. We have 28,000 soldiers right on the line. It's 28,000, right? And we have all these soldiers up and down the line. Why aren't they giving us a lot of money for this? I mean, and the madman is over there talking about nuclear. We're protecting all these people. We get nothing. Don't we wonder why the country's in debt? We wonder why we have $19 trillion, which now with that horrible budget that was just passed, that horrible budget, where everything happens. Obamacare is funded. All of these things. The Syrians coming in. The Syrian migration. No, think of this. The Syrian migration is funded. All of these things, we can't do it. We can't afford it. And we're not going to afford it anymore. We're protecting Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia was, before the oil problem, now they're making half, they're still making a fortune, but they're making $1 billion a day. $1 billion a day. We protect them. They pay us peanuts. They wouldn't be there except for us. And I say it's fine, but we got to get paid. We got to get our money back. Why are we doing this? Why do we protect? And you don't hear this from anybody else. You don't hear from these politicians. They don't even know about it. They have no clue. And you know what? If they paid and reimbursed us for the kind of billions and billions and billions that we're spending to protect other people that are in different parts of the world, if they paid us, we'd have a whole different balance sheet. You'd be able to have your Social Security without all these cuts that these guys want to make. You'd be able to have your Medicare. We're spending so much money on such foolish things. And if we had the right messenger, you'd be able to get the money and be friends. You know, as an example, the Iran deal. We're giving them $150 billion. $150 billion. We don't even get the prisoners back. We get nothing. We lost every single point. We'd say, we'd like to have the following. And they say no. And they say, oh, okay. This is what happened. It took years to negotiate that deal. One of the worst deals ever. And think of it, we don't get the prisoners. Now, I would have done something different. You know, it's called the art of the deal, but it's not. I mean, 90% of this audience, 90%, not 100%, maybe 80%. That's okay, it's not insulting. Could have done a better deal than Kerry on that deal. I would say actually it could be 100%, right? Wouldn't have done a better deal. We give them everything, we get nothing. We give them everything, and we get nothing. Now, when you think of it, we've made Iran a power. But what else have we done for them? For years, they've been fighting with Iraq. Iraq has the second largest oil reserves in the world. We gave them Iraq. That's even better than the $150 billion. The $150 billion deal was peanuts. We gave Iraq. For years, they had the same power, right now. They had the same basic. Well, now says we got to trade it. We gave them, okay? We took Bergdahl, a dirty, rotten traitor. 5 people killed looking for him. They went out and looked for him. They got killed. 5 young, incredible people. I watched the parents. So sad. So we got a dirty, rotten traitor. They get the 5 people that they most wanted that they wanted for 9 years, okay? And those guys are backfighting. They're all backfighting. All right? Don't believe the newspapers when they say, well, they're not fighting, they're arrested, they're fighting. That's what they want to do. They want to fight. They want to fight. So it's just very sad.
That's why I said I have to do it. I couldn't stand watching what's happening in our country. So many bad decisions. So much stupidity. And that's why I said I'm going to run. Think of this. If on the Iran deal, just on one deal, you go in and you say to the other side, great negotiators, the Persians, always have been known as great negotiators. You say on the other side, before we start, we have to have our prisoners back. That'd be the right message to send. Got to have our prisoners back. Got to do it, otherwise no way. They're going to say no. And we're going to say, got to have back. They're going to say no. We're going to say, bye-bye, go. Double up the sanctions. Within 48 hours, they will call you. As sure as you're standing there, 100%, not 99%. They're desperate. They need money. They have no money. We just made them powerful and rich. And they're going to have nuclear weapons now, by the way. You're going to have nuclear proliferation because of that deal all over the place. These people that do this stuff are incompetent. So now, they'll call us and they'll say, you can have the prisoners. Now we have the prisoners. Now you go back and say, second statement. First statement is you don't want to bring them up at the same time. Second statement, we're not going to give you your money because we're not giving you any money. We don't have it. We're a debtor nation. We owe $19 trillion. We don't have any money. We want to be nice. It's always nice. My father used to say, take the lumps out. So you take the lumps out. You know what the lumps are? We want to be nice. We don't have to put it, just say we don't have it. We don't have the money. Sorry. We want to give it to you. I'd like to give you even more. We don't have it. They'll go crazy, everything else. Don't worry. They wouldn't get the money, I guarantee. If I were president, they would get 10 cents of that money, not 10 cents. They wouldn't get that. And then you start the negotiation and make a deal, and you wouldn't agree to the 24-hour. How about the 24-day inspection? Okay, the 24 days, and that doesn't start because I see a man shaking his head, good-looking guy down there, shaking his head. He's shaking his head because it's impossible to believe, right? 24 days, and the clock doesn't start ticking it could be for months. So that thing can go on forever. But the best is they have certain sections where they self-inspect. So Iran is going to self-inspect. And you're going to say, well, we hear there's some activity going on, well, we will check and we will go. Next thing. No, we didn't notice any nuclear weapons anymore. We are being led by the world's dumbest people. Now, a lot of people think there's something worse than that. There's something serious going on. I don't happen to believe that, okay? A lot of people think they can't be that stupid. I think they're just incompetent people. I think they don't know what they're doing. And you look at what we've done for Israel. Israel is that deal for Israel is the worst. Okay, the worst. So we're giving our country away step by step. Now you have the migration. And you look at the migration. And one of the reasons that CNN, I said, because all those cameras are going back there, so I have to be extremely careful with what I say. But CNN does these polls. I don't have posters. I say what I say. Whatever it is, I say it. I'm a smart guy. We're smart people. I say what I say. I don't want posters. These people would never have ever said that we have radical Islamic terrorism. We have to find out. We have to do something. These politicians that I'm with, they don't talk about it. Obama refuses to even say what the problem is. You can't solve the problem. You can't solve the problem unless you're willing to talk about it and open up a dialogue. So now, what happens, coming up here, I'm looking at Germany. Hundreds and hundreds of rapes on New Year's Eve. Germany, they have a problem. She went off the reservation. I don't know what happened to her. She was doing well. Maybe she got power hungry. Maybe she thought she was invincible. They're taking people. The crime is astronomical. It's not working. They're having riots now in the street. And the German people are saying, we've had it. We've had it. We can't let that happen to us. Obama wants to take thousands. And I think that the 10,000, don't forget, they said 10,000, that's just the beginning. Because if you remember, in the debate, the Democrat debate, recently, the last one, they were talking about 65 or 55,000. Now all of a sudden Obama's talking about 10,000. Believe me, even the 55, 65, I had heard they want to take 200,000. That's what I had heard. But whatever the number is, I don't care if it's 10,000 or 2,000, and I have a bigger heart than everybody and anybody. And you can do a beautiful area in Syria, You call it a free zone. In other words, you call it an area where we'll protect, where we'll make it possible for people to live until they can hopefully someday go back to their homes.
Boring! Tell some jokes.
So, very important. It's very important. Get him.
Get out of here. Go ahead. Nothing funny about this. Anyone jokes. There's nothing funny about this. This is so serious. Out. Get out of here. He's got a lot of... Yeah. He says he loves me. Out. I can see he's got a very serious one. I saw that when I came in. I love you. You're the greatest. I love you. We got to get to that. There's time for you. We've got so many problems. And we've got to get them solved. And if we don't get them solved, we're going to be in very serious trouble. So you build a zone, you take care of it. But if I get elected, I will tell you, everybody has to leave. They have to leave. They go out. They have to do it. Because we can't have the problems that they're having elsewhere. And you look at the world, you look at what's happening. It's incredible. So when the journey started, I came down on the escalator. I talked about illegal immigration. We talked about it. We talked about it very, very strongly. And it's all part of the whole plan. When they do the polls, they come out, and they come out strongly, and they say, for immigration, for terrorism, for military, for ISIS, Trump is way ahead of everybody else. Because it's sort of all in that same ballpark. We've got to protect our borders. We do have to build a wall. We're going to build a wall. It's going to be a great wall. People aren't going to come in unless they come in legally. People can come in illegally. You have a tremendous heroin problem here. It's an amazing thing. Every time I come up to New Hampshire, which is a lot, I talk to people, and one of the first things they mention, and people on the outside don't think of this, but you have a tremendous heroin problem here. Like, it's incredible. And I don't understand it. And a lot of people don't understand it. But you know where it's coming from. And it's spreading far beyond this area. And it's such a serious problem. And young people, and older people too, are becoming totally addicted. We're going to stop it. And then we're going to work on helping. Then we're going to work on helping the people that are here that are addicted. We have people that are fully addicted. And we have to work. Because they're not doing enough work to help these people. We have to work on it. So, I'm going to take a few questions before we stop, but I just want to mention just a few more things. So, Obamacare. Got to repeal it and replace it. Going to have to happen. We're going to repeal it, we're going to replace it. We're going to replace it with something that's far less costly for you and far less costly for the country. Your premiums are up 25, 35, 45%. Your deductibles are through the roof. You won't even be able to use it. Obamacare is a failure, and it's going to fail in 17 anyway. We know that. It's going to fail in 17. So Obamacare is out. Common Core. Jeb Bush wants Common Core. How the hell do you want Common Core? Remember with Jeb, two things that I remember most about Jeb from the early. Because people thought he might win. Then we found out he didn't know too much. Common Core, he's in favor of Common Core. In other words, he wants your children educated from Washington instead of the local groups that do such an incredible job. And I've seen them all over the country, 10 times better. And on top of that, if you look, we're number 28 in the world in education, and yet we're number 1 per pupil in cost, okay? So how's Common Core working? So Common Core is out. And the other thing he said is, they come across the border as an act of love. I said, what? They come as an act of love. Tell the people that have had tremendous problems and crime to their family, tell them they come as an act of love. So they don't come as an act of love, believe me. So we're going to solve those problems.
I want to take, and maybe I'm going to start with Al, because Al has been so great, but we're going to take a few questions, and you can just shout them out. I don't know if they have the mic, it's too hard to get them back. But you get, Al, do you have a question? Right. 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 Yeah. Well, a lot of people have said that Marco Rubio filed a bill, but he doesn't even go to Washington to get it passed, and he's using the veterans at this point. But I think a lot of them are. One thing I'll say, and I think Al will tell you, I've been on the veteran side for years. I have seen what's gone on with the VA. You take a look at Phoenix, and you take a look at some of these places, and you see the corruption and the dishonesty. But I will take, I think you have good confidence that I will take care of things. The politicians are not going to be able to take care of things. Yeah, we're going to get it done. We're going to get the right thing done. We put in a good thing. Yes, ma'am, go ahead. You have one? Go ahead. How are you?
Great, thank you. I was wondering what you plan to do if elected as far as regarding Obama's executive order on gun control.
Look, I'm a big Second Amendment guy. If you look at Paris, if you look at California recently where the 14 people killed, and look at Paris where 330 people and more to follow this, and so many that are so badly wounded. If there were guns on the other side with the bullets firing in the opposite direction, you'll have people killed, you'll have people, but you're not going to have 130 people. They said to these people, Paris has the toughest gun laws in the world. France has the toughest gun laws just about in the world. Can't have a gun unless you're a bad guy, then you just carry a gun. These people were told, get over here, boom, 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 boom. Went on for so long. They were so defenseless. The military, how about the military base a year ago, right? Where you had 5 soldiers, a couple of them were world-class soldiers, great marksmen, great people with the guns and the rifles, like the top of the line. It was a gun-free zone. This whack job walked in, looked at these 5 soldiers, and just boom, boom, boom. They couldn't do it. These are the top people. On the military base, I would end that immediately. And remember this. Gun-free zones, that's like candy. When these sickos see a gun-free zone, their eyes light out. So that's the way I am. All they're doing is taking little chunks out of the Second Amendment. The truth is, they've got plenty of ammunition already, but the federal government does a very, very poor job of watching what they already have. They want to keep taking away, and all of a sudden, they'll go with the bullets. I heard a rumor the other day, they want to now, they can't do the guns, so they want to start taking away the bullets. They want to make the magazines where it holds less than 1 bullet, okay? They want to make everything impossible. But the end result is, you take a look, and I debate this a lot with people. I'll talk about Paris, I'll talk about California. And they can't win the debate, they always lose. And then I'll call them the next day. So do you agree with me? Well, no, not really. We need protection. We need protection. The Second Amendment, you need Trump. The Second Amendment will be the way it is. We are absolutely going to protect the Second Amendment. Okay, go ahead.
I want to, Carol already voted for you today by absentee ballot.
Oh, you voted for me already?
Thank you. I love you in the military, right?
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope the military can go out. Al, maybe you can lead a group, and maybe you can get that gentleman. What's your name?
Dennis Susi.
Thank you, Dennis. You already voted. I love that.
No, I didn't vote. Carol did.
Oh, Carol. Hello, Carol.
Carol, I like you more than
Dennis. That's very nice.
I won't be in New Hampshire at the time of voting, so I wanted to make sure that I got my vote in for you.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Carol. For the military, you really do have some extra added assets. If you get in right now and if you vote, you can see our people, you can see Al, but if you could get in and vote, it would be really helpful. Yes, sir, go ahead. Go ahead. Well, Bill joined Hillary. So far, it's not working out so well. I mean, so far it's not. Hey, look, I wish him the best. I wish him the best, but it has not been working out very well. He had some major issues. Yes, go ahead.
Are frustrated with inefficiency and lack of cooperation in government, and there's a lot of hateful rhetoric on both sides. How do you plan to encourage bipartisan cooperation in government?
That's a great question. You know, we have things right now that everybody agrees on. For instance, there's $2.5 trillion at least outside of this country wanting to come in that's owned by businesses. It's business money. And the businesses, everybody agrees, Democrats, Republicans, we should do it. It's been years now, they can't agree. They agree, but they can't get it done. What that is the lack of leadership. The other thing, I thought that Barack Obama, one thing, would be a great unifier. He's turned out to be a great divider. I'm a unifier. People don't understand that about me. I get along. In fact, before I was a politician, I got along with that. I got along with the Democrats, with the Republicans, with the liberals, with the conservatives. I get along with everybody. People say, oh, he got along with it. Of course I did. I'm a businessman. I had to get along with everybody. I'm a unifier. We have amazing people in this country. They're very, very divided. We will unify this country, and we're going to have spirit in this country. We have a great country. We're going to make it great. We're going to make it far greater. And we're not going to be laughed at for being stupid. We're not going to be laughed at for doing the wrong thing. We're going to be strong. We're going to be really something special. We can be. I actually say, I say, make America great again. And sometimes I'll say, I actually believe we can make it greater than ever before. With proper leadership. I will add this caveat. We can't go, however, another 4 years of essentially Barack Obama, because that's what Hillary would be. And I think, Bernie Sanders would be the same thing. I mean, this guy is totally out of it. So we just can't. We just can't do that. Otherwise, you're not going to have a country left. Okay, yes, sir, go ahead. Yeah.
Hillary recently said that she wants to declassify Area 51 military secrets. Do you have anything to say about that?
Well, she wants to declassify because she wants to get out of trouble. She's got so many. She's got such a problem. I mean, if you look, the experts, you see them on television, but you see them. I also have some that are incredible, some of the smartest lawyers who say what she did is. There was no answer to what she did. You know the amazing thing, other than greed, there was no, what's she doing? You just use what you're supposed to use, and you assume people are listening, who the hell cares? And you do what you have to do. All of this for what? It's greed. It's really just greed in its own way. All she had to do is just do what you're supposed to do. It would have been so easy. So, I can imagine, I think that's a very good idea. Declassify everything. Okay, yes, sir, go ahead.
Those of us senior citizens that are on Social Security,
right.
And we didn't get a raise or any kind of COLA this year, and our Medicare costs went up. What will you do as president against this?
So what we're going to do is we're going to bring jobs back into the country. I'm giving everybody a tremendous tax cut. We're going to make our country really vibrant again. My tax cut has been received so well by so many people, some of the top, Larry Kudlow, some of the great people that really understand what's happening. We're cutting business taxes, we're cutting middle-income taxes. The middle income has been driven out of this country. It's been so unfair to the middle income. We're going to bring our jobs back from China, bring our jobs back from Japan, and from Mexico, and from Vietnam is a new place. I mean, you got to see what's going on in Vietnam. And they do it with devaluations. They devalue their currency, and our people don't know what's happening. They don't get it. They don't know about business inversions. They don't know about corporate inversions. They don't know what's happening. Our leaders don't know what's happening. You have corporations now leaving the United States, taking all these jobs, dropping them, leaving and moving to other countries. Like we used to move to Florida or we move to someplace. They don't think about Florida. They think about leaving the United States now. We're going to make it strong again, and we're going to save the Social Security. And nobody else knows how to do it but me, but that's what I do. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Ronald Reagan was able to get our prisoners released the day before he was inaugurated. Can you do that for us, too?
With the prisoners. Yeah. I say this. There are 4 prisoners, you said 3. They will be gone. They will be out of Iran before I take office. And if they're not, Iran will have hell to pay. I can tell you. Okay? Iran will have hell to pay. They will be the 4 most costly prisoners in history. That I can tell you. Okay? They better let them out. Just to even make that sadder, now they'll probably do that anyway. But, so you're going to have the prisoners in history. But Iran has announced recently that they are now willing to talk about the prisoners. Do you believe this? But we want a lot. We want a lot. Can you believe that? It's so sad. And all you have to do is say, we want our prisoners, and walk for 10 minutes, and you would have your prisoners. But now they're willing to talk. And they say it like we're so stupid. We are willing to talk, but we want a lot. Can you believe that? So, it's very sad. I mean, honestly, there are so many sad things. We all have a good time, but the truth is we have a very negative topic because there's not a lot of good things happening. One other point, middle-income people and people in the labor force essentially have not had a raise in 10 years. You know that, right? They haven't had a raise essentially in 10 years. That's another beautiful statistic that just came out. Okay, with that, go ahead.
What's your opinion on North Korea possessing the hydrogen bomb?
North Korea possessing the bomb, they don't know if it's a hydrogen bomb yet, but it's a hell of a bomb. And he's a wild man, he's a maniac in probably most ways. We have China that taunts us, that has taken away tremendous amounts of wealth from the United States. We have rebuilt China. It's been one of the greatest robberies in the history of our world. What China has done, they've taken our jobs, they've taken our base, they've taken our money. They've taken so much. And I get along great with China, and I get along great with the people. They buy apartments. They give me tens of millions of dollars for apartments in New York. I like China. Just like I get along great with Mexico. But Mexican and China and almost every country, their leaders are too smart for the people that we have. Carl Icahn endorsed me, great businessman. The businessmen all love Trump. They all. I mean, the ones that don't are giving money to these other candidates so they can totally control them. Because I can't take any money and I don't take any money. I have turned down so much. I would make Jeb Bush's 100. Can you imagine this guy having $125 million? He just bought $25 million worth of ads and he's at 2 or 3 or something. Can you believe this guy? I would make his $125 million look like small potatoes if I took money. I would have the biggest fund probably ever created. Guys are offering me any amount of money. And I say, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm going to do this right. Because once you take that money, you control. Even if it's not from a legal standpoint, you are mentally sort of like, you owe favors. And then what you do is you start doing things for them, not for the country. We're going to do things for the first time, maybe ever. We're going to do things for the country. We're going to do things for you. We're going to get it right. Okay. More. Go ahead, darling.
Mr. Trump, I want to know what role protecting the environment and pursuing sustainable energy will play in making America great again.
Well, we have to get a president. The president talks about the environment, as you probably have noticed. More so than you remember, global warming is far more important than ISIS and all of the enemies we have out there that want to blow us up, which is rather incredible. But sort of funny. He talks about the carbon footprint, okay, and how important the carbon footprint is. I'm not supposed to use hairspray in my hair because it affects the ozone. Like I'm sitting in an apartment that's totally sealed, but it goes up and it affects the ozone. I don't think so, personally, but that's what they say. There's a lot of money being made on this nonsense. So what happens is the president's talking about the carbon footprint, and then he gets in 3 weeks ago, into an old Boeing 747 Air Force One with the old engines that just spew out more stuff than you've ever seen. And he flies with his family to Hawaii to play golf. And then he flies back in the old 747 spewing out everything. And then he gives a speech on the environment and on the carbon footprint. Give me a break. Give me a break. So, you know what I want, and I say it because I actually received many environmental awards because I've developed so much stuff, and I've received a lot of environmental awards. But what I do, I want really crystal clear, beautiful, healthy water, and I want really clean air. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. Okay. How about, who's got a really nice question? Really good. I like this guy. Didn't you give me the Bible? Did you give me the Bible? The man gave me a Bible. What? He'll ask you this killer question. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You might not even know the answer.
Okay.
Americans know. Can you tell us the 3 countries on the face of the planet that are not in the world banking system? I'll tell you if you don't.
You tell me. Go ahead, tell me.
North Korea.
Right.
Iran.
Right.
And Cuba.
And there's another one.
Is there?
Yeah.
I thought there were
Very good. Good, thank you.
How do you know so much about banking?
I study a lot.
Good. That's good. Yeah, I know you were one of them.
You know, actually,
Okay, yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to ask you the question my sister asked in 1984 of Ronald Reagan. Her question was, when you win the election, can I go to the inauguration?
So let me ask you, what did Ronald Reagan say?
But of course, give your personal information to the guy over
Okay,
there.
and did she ever get there?
She did.
Did she get there?
She did. She read a moment.
Wait a minute, did you remember that?
Well, they obviously did. 'Cause they
No, but did she actually go?
Yes.
All right, then I'll give you the exact same answer that Ronald Reagan.
It's a very, very expensive place. Very, very expensive. I will do one more. One more. Go ahead. Right back.
What?
The environmentalist leader Bill McKibben says that to save the planet, America needs to stop growing the economy and live more like Ethiopia.
Hasn't worked out very well for you.
And limit their family to only one child. What do you think about McKibben?
Okay, we'll take it on the place.
We got to end with a better question. Okay, who's got a good one? You have a nice question? Go ahead. We got to end with, at least we have to end with a nice question. And nothing wrong in all fairness. Ethiopia, we don't want to base our whole world on Ethiopia. And I'm sure it's a wonderful place. Okay.
It's really just a comment, and that is based on what you said to the lady over here about the inauguration. You are a really nice guy.
I love this man. Thank you. I love it. I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, how can I finish better than that, right? That's very nice. I appreciate that. And he's a tough cookie. I'm looking at this man. He's a tough cookie. Look. We are going to make America great again. We're going to win. We're going to start winning. We don't win anymore. We're going to win so much. We're going to make our country great. We're going to win with the economy. We're going to win with health care. We're going to win with our military. We're going to win, and you're going to be so proud. And I'm going to do a great job, and I'm working for you. I'm not taking anybody's money. I'm not influenced by the lobbyists or by the special interests like every single other candidate. Of course, I'm the only one that's spending my own money. We are going to win together. Go out and get Time Magazine. You'll understand it even better because you're a part of it. This is a movement that's going on. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.